Hola! Welcome to my latest video where I'm going to teach you how the board game Risk can help you become a better content creator. Let's get started. One of the things you might not know about me is that I love board games. I don't really play video games, but at least once a month I get together with a couple of other entrepreneurs in Vegas and we play a ton of board games. We play everything from Risk to Diplomacy, a little bit of Warhammer, some Settlers of Catan, a lot of different board games. I think board games are super fun because they allow me to factor into strategic thinking, which is something I'm not super great at, but something I really, really enjoy. And one of the things about Risk specifically is that when you first start playing Risk with people, most people believe that Risk is kind of just a luck game. They believe that because there's dice and cards involved, two elements of chance, that there's no way to kind of figure out the ways to solve Risk, which is just simply not true. Risk has actually been mathematically solved. And you can look up some articles about that. If you just Google perfect Risk strategy, you'll see there's like 3 or 4 main strategic points that will allow you to become better at Risk and beat your friends consistently. And the same thing happens with content marketing strategy. So many times I see people who are producing content that doesn't actually get any reactions and doesn't lead their audience to either working with them, buying their products, or spreading the word about them. So in this video, I want to quickly talk to you about content marketing strategy and how you can improve at it. So the first thing that you want to understand about content marketing strategy is that there are different parts, and the most important part by far is the who. When I think about the who and I compare it to Risk, it's sort of the territories. The goal of Risk is to control as many territories in the world as possible. There's 42 territories. And with your who, there's almost an unlimited amount of potential targets, potential customers. And sometimes you'll run into marketers who are like, my market is every man in America who wants to get more dates. Or you'll run into financial services marketers who will be like, my market is everyone who wants to retire. And those just aren't good markets. That's just not a lot of strategy. That's just an easy thing. It sounds good to like jabronis, but anyone who knows what they're talking about knows that you have to zero in on your territory. Same thing in Risk. You have to figure out which territories you want to attack first. North America, easiest territory to hold, gets you a lot of bonus armies, versus Europe, which is the hardest territory to hold and has a lot of competition, right? So you want to select the right who. That's really, really important. Next, you want to talk about the problem you're solving, right? What does your content solve? For me, I talk a lot about creating content, how to create better content, more data-driven content, content that gets a better reaction, content that builds your authority, all that fun stuff. And today I'm even talking about content strategy. What is the problem you're solving for your audience? To me, that's kind of like the troops in Risk. Everyone starts out with a certain amount of troops. Everyone has problems they can solve for their audience. But being able to consistently move those problems around and put them in the right places with the right audience, troops in the right territory, is what leads to successful content marketing strategy. The third part of content marketing strategy is why you, right? And you might be thinking like, who am I to teach people? A lot of people have imposter syndrome, right? They think, why am I capable of teaching someone, or who am I to give advice, right? You'll see this a lot with people who mock life coaches. They'll be like, oh, a life coach doesn't even have their life together. But you don't need any sort of permission, right? All you need is the reason you're qualified, your kind of proof of what you're capable of doing. And that's sort of like the attacking cards. When you attack in Risk, you're showing people that you are capable, right? The whole point of the game is to attack, attack, attack. And the whole point of your content is to explain who you are, who you help, and how you help them. If you keep those 3 things in mind, you'll have a much more successful content marketing strategy. But there's 3 other things I want to talk about. The 4th thing I want to talk about is your format. A lot of people just write blog posts or they post organic posts on social media, make videos. You want to play around with format. That's why I make videos, I do social posting, I write blogs, I do guest posts, I do Q&As. You want to try a lot of different formats because one of those formats, one of those kind of media forms is going to work better for you than the others, but you're going to need to experiment with it. Same way that you're going to need to experiment in attacking different territories in the game of Risk. You can't just attack centralized or people can fight you off. Number 5, distribution. If content is king, distribution is queen, and a lot of people don't pay attention to their distribution. Do you have people who are spreading your posts for you? Are you using services like Q, which is a service where you pay them $40 per post and they promote it on hundreds of different sites and directories? being able to distribute your content, really, really important. And the last piece of content marketing strategy is amplification. Amplification is basically the process of taking content that you've created, looking at the reactions it gets, and then putting it out again with the reactions. So Gary Vaynerchuk is really, really good at this. He'll put out a piece of content, then people will be like, oh my God, I love this, and he'll cut it up again and put it out again with the reaction so that you're amplifying the content. You're giving people who maybe scrolled by your content the first time a second chance to come back and check it out and get a chance to get all that value from you. So that is the 6 ways that you can let the game of Risk help you with your content marketing strategy. It's really important that you have a strategy. If you just put content out there, you're not going to be as effective. You're just going to be throwing stuff up against the wall and hoping that it sticks. But if you have some strategy, it is very possible to create content that gets a huge reaction, builds your list, builds your authority, and makes people want to work with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon.